was a way you could see the camps. I'm not sure how that's
Oh,
done.
there's like a way you can bind it to. I think there's a way you can bind it to like when you press Alt or something.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not
Gotcha.
not completely sure what it is.
Yeah, let me know, guys. Like, tweet at me if there's a way as observers to see where those spawn boxes are for the camps. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% sure, but I remember watching. I think it was Toby or one of the casts for one of the tournaments where you could see it. But for now, whoop, Ghost Stick. Oh yeah, for a second he messed up the block in the top lane, but he managed to get the range creep out in front before the Boar expires. But that's going to be dealt with. Nice play by Disruptor. He's there, takes a few hits, gets the melee in front. So I'm going to give Beastmaster a rough time as far as getting experience and farm out of this lane goes.
Yeah. And it's actually, it's interesting. I've seen this matchup a few times recently. A zoning Disruptor against the offlane Beastmaster, and it's normally something that what you'll see, the Beastmaster can get bullied quite a lot until he has to solve, and then usually at that stage the Disruptor's out of mana by the time the Beastmaster solves. That's kind of his job. Like he wants Disruptor to use all of his mana pool to get rid of the solve, and then the Beastmaster is actually okay in the lane if that's what happens.
Well, two clarities to some extent check understanding that maybe that's what the Beastmaster wants and preparing to have a decent amount of sustain to counteract that.
Yeah, it's going to definitely do a lot of work in this lane, I agree.
A lot of it comes down to some of the plays available. Like if Beastmaster can cancel the clarities using the Boar and prevent that from happening. But for now, the lane looking to push out a little bit, but nice little side pull here. Ghost Stick, oh, immediately loses Hawk. They're doing a great job of dealing with this Beastmaster, who has hit level 2, but realistically not getting much out of this lane, considering it is a dual lane.
And we talked about the Chen and the Tusk, and they're both busy harassing the mid lane at the same time. It was first the Chen rotation and then Invoker. Tusk came in to try and help, and yeah, it's so. I guess you could say that's neutralized, except that there was never really any plan to make a kill there by the Chen and the OD. It was just harassment, I think. We do see that the Chen took a level of penitence early on, which is something that we've seen occasionally recently, but still definitely not the main Chen build.
Yeah, I've the more I've seen it, the more I've started to like it, and like the few times I'll play Chen, it's like it feels a lot easier to find some of those kills. Bottom lane, speaking of kills, they're looking for Jonas here. His dive's still on cooldown, and with the Impale Hex, it's enough slow Jonas, 2 seconds, 1 second, he goes down. That was very close to having a dive, but perfectly timed aggression from Fantastic 5 secures that kill in mid lane. There's a snowball coming in onto BZZ, the Ice Shards block, and Black gets banished up, does not have Sunstrike invoked. He has the 2 other spells. We'll have to wait some time before he can get this kill, but these slows coming out. He pops a Fairy Fire, the Orb of Venom. He gets it reproc on. He's going to have to go for the suicide, it looks like, and BZZ denies himself. Nicely played. Although it is still a small victory for Avengers as far as the mid lane's concerned. Taking the OD out, even if they didn't get credited the kill.
Looks like Fantastic 5 just want to go for the tier 1 bots right now.
Oh, they're going for another kill on Jonas. So they're trying to force out the dive, it looks like. Iron Man just looking to right-click Jonas away. Who holds onto it, pops this... Oh, Salve gets cancelled. Whoopsie daisy. Iron Man. It was the player in game 1, or the MVP, I want to say, and here he is already. Applying a lot of pressure in the early game here, making some nice little individual plays, and keeping Jonas away from this tier 1 tower.
Again, the Tusk is going to come across and try and help where the Chen is having its influence, but in this case it's going to be a lot more difficult. I think you can throw in Ice Shards or something, slow down the push, but I think this tower's going down one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, they resummon the skeletons. They lose one of the Dark Troll summoners, but they really want to commit to this one. Havos has the Blade Fury if he needs to pop it just for a bit of immunity, but they actually don't quite get the tower, and they will be forced back a little bit. Boogie going in for the deny. I can't imagine they're going to allow this one to happen, and Dark Troll summon, he gets it. Oh, last hits the tower with the troll, and that was always going to be... I feel like that should not have been a denied tower to begin with, but it was very close to being a denied tower with Fantastic 5 backing off it.
Yeah, leaving it very close, just sending in the troll to get the last hit to me, and it's like... I thought their heroes would commit and just kind of scare them off.
It's like, it's a Tusk Phoenix, a very low HP Phoenix. Like, very... if that tower had been denied, I would have considered a mistake for Tan's. It was a kind of a good play from Yol, but he shouldn't have had to make a big play to get the tower last hit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They get it though, so...
Beastmaster's got Iron Talon, he's gone back to farming jungle, but it's allowed Disruptor to go off the lane also a little bit, and was around the mid lane hoping for a kill attempt, but...
Yeah. And that's the one thing where they're probably scared to if that tower bottom is that there is an Invoker Sunstrike, so that global nuke presence is always going to be problematic. Getting towards the mid lane, Centaur stun will follow up the OD banish, but Yol in trouble here. Gets kept alive by an Impale for now. He's going to walk into that Sunstrike. Black lands it and gets himself Avenger's first kill of the game.
It's the very best time to Sunstrike people running away, actually. When they're like scared they're being chased and they're trying to run the most possible efficient way to gain distance, then you almost always hit those Sunstrikes.
Yeah. Not the biggest loss for Avengers. I mean, they for Fantastic Five. I mean, yeah, it's a kill going Invoker's way, but they were kind of forcing Avengers to keep a lot of heroes around this mid lane.
Disruptor's gonna die.
Oh, yeah, there's a rotation. Yep, and OD as well, so no way out of for Shaq here. We'll push Beastmaster away a little bit, but he's still even in experience range for the kill. Gets
that's
level
gonna...
5.
I mean, they had the Radiant side had a ward on the cliff and a Hawk. It was like, they could see absolutely everything.
Jonas dive forward. He's going aggressive on y'all. Ballsy play, but he's got rotations coming in again. The Sunstrike gonna land. Ice Shards, not the best, but the Snowball will secure it. Boogie. What's the play here? Centaur stun, no mana for it. Dark Troll also does not have an ensnare. They'll lose one Chen Creep, possibly both here. As the OD banish, not going to set anything up. BZZ all alone here in the mid lane. So
yeah, so we're already seeing a very dramatic difference from last game. Both teams are kind of contesting the early game, the lane stage, instead of just one team.
Ironman finds Jonas, who does not have a dive for now, but won't chase despite having a haste through, not really maybe knowing the cooldown there. Also, even if he didn't have the dive, it would have been a hard kill.
So there's going to be pressure on that top lane, trying to even out the...
I mean, again, Disruptor just rotating in. He's got to imagine that there's vision here once more. He fell for this one once, but knowing that he's got a decent amount of support and teammates here in the top lane.
And this is, I really like this, the Juggernaut comes into the top lane. I think that the recognition that keeping your tier 1 alive when you've killed their tier 1 on the other side of the map it's really, really important. It's something that's maybe not spoken about enough, and I think I don't know if it's become more important recently or if it's just something that teams prioritize more recently, but if you see a team get a 2 or 3 tier 1 tower advantage, they almost always win the mid game because the access it gives you to the map, the availability of smoke gangs, those sorts of things.
And you can roam, like, move around the map a lot easier because of like all the different TP points.
Yeah, exactly. Mid lane there's a kill attempt on OD, but this is going to be very difficult. And OD turns it around, kills the Tusk.
Yep. And not just the Tusk, Disruptor as well, going to be left for last with the Banish and taken out by the Chen. So nice couple of kills, and similar to the last game, Fantastic Five just seem to always have the numbers they need in this mid lane. Yeah, there's been much better job by Avengers to apply pressure and fight early on, but Fantastic Five just really kind of finding the right timings and opportunities when they need to here.
Yeah, and in this top lane in the meantime, Avengers have committed a lot of heroes mid. The Jarcopters alone, and even though Jarcopters had complete free farm and farming already well so far all game, can't really handle all the Juggernauts, never mind the Beastmaster being there. I feel like, yeah, Solitude has to commit the ulti to push them off, and now the ulti's used, and Solitude's going to need backup from his teammates because he definitely can't hold this on his own. I'm
looking at Ghostic for a second, I'm like, well, he's not got Raw because so they're not going to get this tower, but Havos actually has a Mango, so we could see a Mango thrown Ghostic's way if it could secure a kill here, and Havos has mana either for an Omni Slash or actually no, now both spells with the level 7, so very difficult defense here in the top lane, and I'm sure Ghostic is gonna get caught out here, pulled back in by the Glimpse. The Omni Slash goes through, takes up Disruptor, but it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. No opportunity to go for a Raw. Havos keeping his Mangoes to himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if that's something that crossed their minds. Like, they probably just didn't think of it.
I think it must, because I'm sure, like, the communication there has got to be Beastmaster saying, like, hey, if they come, I don't have mana for Raw. Because, like, that's like a key part of that push there, Havos, whether or not you have Raw. So Havos may have probably said, hey, if something happens, I'll Mango you, but there was no, like, preemptive Mango.
Yeah, I guess in the way he got glimpsed in the end, it wouldn't have mattered if he had Mango.
No, absolutely. Probably leaving it for, like, the clutch play. Like, last second Mango, get a Raw off, but no opportunity available. Top tier 1 tower very low here, but Ghostic's still going to hold his ground, keep this one alive. Solitude looking to commit, knowing that Fantastic Five are in the mid lane, and see if Beastmaster can get Deny on this one. They pop the Glyph, Ghostic pushes forward, and it will be denied tower, it looks like, coming out for the Beastmaster here. Solitude...
Yeah, Solitude has to respect the Raw and the possibility of another TP, so exactly. He can't contest that.
Good discipline from Solitude, and ultimately they get the tier 1 tower, which does take away some of those access points from Fantastic Five. Helps protect your own jungle a little bit better as far as Fantastic Five being able to easily rotate through from the top lane.
pre 10-minute Blink Dagger online. RMN just like having the series of his life.
He's been phenomenal. Even like mid lane, that impale onto Invoker where he almost manages to save Yol from the Chen. Like he's made a lot of big plays in both these games.
I can 100% guarantee that the first time he blinks in, Avengers are gonna be surprised. Like there's no way that they expect to be facing a Blink Dagger online yet.
Yeah.
So we just have to see if he can make a kill here with it.
Yeah, it's going to be possibly on the Invoker. Iron Man in position. He's got some backup black, but it's not that nearby. Yeah, they're there, but they're far enough away. They may be able to kill black before a reaction can come. Jonas, he actually may be on the receiving end. Iron Man scouts him out. Now the Blink Dagger's been seen. Okay, Avengers is going to be like, okay, Lion's going to blink now. At least we know it, but the bad news is he's got to blink. Finger of Death, Iron Man, who's going to go for the Impale. He doesn't... Oh, he's already used the Finger. It's on cooldown. BZZ going to get turned around. Has the OG ultimate, throws it out, takes away a lot of the mana of the Avengers side. Havos TP, Blade Fury through, gets just the one. Looks like Boogie will get away back to safety for now, but Iron Man can chase, and without the mana for a TP, Iron Man may be able to find him here. He's got to be probably getting word. Odie's like, dude, this guy's got no mana. You can find him. You can kill him. And yet, you betcha. Boogie locked in place. Leaves the kill for Havost. And Havost now, drums complete. Phase boots, level 8. Going very aggressive with the build. Max out Blade Theory. Now starting to level up the healing ward. Pressure is going to continue to surmount here for Fantastic 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, okay, sure, you got a fast blink, but it was Brown Boots blink. But the amount of gold he has now, RMN could just go back for, like, towards the Ether Lens or by the Tranquil Boots. And it's good that RMN caught out the Phoenix, they controlled him, but it's also, I think, maybe a misplay from Jonas. It's something you have to keep in mind when you have Phoenix. It's almost like playing a quad build. Voice is going to run forward. Maybe there's going to be a bit of a fight.
Yeah, they're going to catch out Jonas again, and Iron Man this time with the Finger. You control that Phoenix, you take away the Supernova, and suddenly Avengers' ability to teamfight is very limited. You've got a Gyrocopter who wants to fight, but Gyrocopter alone, he needs that defensive kind of ultimate from the Phoenix Supernova.
That's the point I want to make at the mid-fights, is that Jonas actually dived forward and didn't get his ulti off because Lion just controlled him. And it's something you have to always... Like, you have to always keep in mind as a Phoenix player, like, a lot of the time you have to dive in and just immediately egg. You can't, like, try and be super efficient with it, because as soon as you get hexed, then you're gonna die before you even get your egg off. And it's very, very costly to the team for Phoenix to dive in and get controlled before ulting.
Well, some chase coming out. They're possibly trying to get vision for a glimpse here, but teamfight I don't think would necessarily suit Avengers right now. There is no cooldown. They do have the Supernova still available, looking to perhaps find an opportunity to use it, but not going to happen for the time being, and it's still going to be Fantastic 5. They don't have the most farmed heroes in the game. That title belongs to the Gyrocopter, and even the Invoker out-farming OD, but looking at the distribution, all 5 Fantastic 5 heroes in the 7 top farmed heroes of the game, so much better farm distribution, and they've been taking towers, they've been looking to apply a lot more pressure, and they do lead by 5,000 overall net worth.
Yep, and it's starting to show. Interesting that RMN's now bought the Staff of Wizardry, so I guess going for and a Null Talisman.
Whoa.
What do you think that suggests?
Well, it suggests Dagon, but
yeah.
Is that the build?
Because I was gonna say he's going for 4 stuff and not Edelens, and then I saw the Null and I was like, maybe Dagon is
casual stats, you know? I'd be very surprised by a Dagon build, but I mean, against heroes like Phoenix, you want to burst down. It does give you that, like when Finger's got a long cooldown. So Supernova goes in, but Soul Tooth's already dead, and Havos can hit the egg through the Blade Fury. Yol shows up without any fire spirits on himself. Iron Man gets away from the Sunstrike, which I don't think would have killed him anyways. 350 damage. He had 400 HP, so it was fine regardless.
I think it's for a guy who goes Brown Boots into Blink. I think it's a bit suspicious to then go back for Null for the stats. Yes. So I sort of think he is going Dagon. I don't like. Otherwise, he would just go straight into his 4 stuff. No,
I think it looks highly possible. What do you think? Like, what are the merits of Dagon here? Like, why Dagon?
I mean, it's just more burst power. It almost guarantees that he can control the Phoenix on his own. Yep. You know, just get off that heck. He can burst it down on his own. The Phoenix is going to die, and no one else is going to have to even do anything, which will probably be pretty big for those fights.
You could theoretically almost solo kill anyone. Gyrocopter may become a bit of a struggle with the Sanj magic wand, but like Finger Dagon, a lot of burst damage. That goes without saying.
Yeah, being able to get things down on your own is pretty cool. I mean, I suppose the Null could be building into a Veil later, and then it wouldn't just be like casual stats Null. But
Fantastic 5. They're going in for the Roche, but some great patience. They get out of the Roche and hit the Finger! Oh, Tusk, goodbye. Lion finds him, snipes him down. Iron Man gonna deal with the forward spirits, and it looks like, yeah, no way for Shaq to get out of this one. He'll get Hex taken out by the Jug. And they can go back into the Roshan pick. Great awareness from Fantastic Five. They start Roche, get down to half HP, quickly realize that, hey, Avengers aren't showing at any of these lanes. The biggest tell is this top lane. There was a big creep wave pushing up, not being farmed. When that top lane, which is probably the safest farm on the map, isn't being taken by Avengers, Fantastic Five just knew. Let's get out of the Roche pit, win the fight, then take Roche.
Yeah, I think this Avengers team just lacks direction, honestly, and I think they react to the first game by, oh, Lion might go down here. There's a cooldown available, it should be a kill.
Yeah. Unless he can somehow find a blink out, but the damage over time is going to be too much. Sunstrike will secure the kill.
So, it's something small, but it's... I just feel like the general trend across these games, there's more direction for Fantastic Five. They know what they want to do, and Avengers recognize, like, the very worst thing about last game was that they weren't even playing in the early game, and so they like got that amount of direction and they dropped this game. They want to contest the lane stage right at the beginning, but it felt like after that, after the first 5 minutes where they like traded blows, they still kind of lacked that sense of direction. Not really sure what their timings were, you know, where their draft wanted to go, when they wanted to push, when they wanted to fight, when they wanted to, I don't know, go for smoke gank, and I think that lack of direction is something that we do often see with a newly formed team. Yeah. But it's unfortunate for them because this is like a single elimination brackets and they're against the ropes now already in game 2.
Oh, Lions, he's got it. He's got the Dagon. Brown boots, Dagon blink. As Chen picks up a mech. Much more reasonable, standard expected item.
That's, I mean, and he's gonna be level 11 soon as one. I'm pretty sure with the level 2 finger plus the Earth Spike and the Dagon, he's, as you said, he's gonna solo almost any hero.
Yeah. So, not going to be very fun. And I don't really feel like he's in that much. I mean, he dies at bottom lane, but that's kind of unrelated to like how a typical fight will play out. With the Blink Dagger, he can choose his timing to enter the fight. You've got enough frontline initiators in the form of the Beastmaster. The Juggernaut, who has Blade Fury, can even stand on the front lines to some extent. So you've got the Chen heals to back up these cores. So he's in a position where he can almost always guarantee getting all these spells off, taking out one hero, possibly disabling a second or a third. So Lion can get a lot done. Havos drums up, he goes aggressive and the Static Storm, Havos gets out of it, he still be up the Omni Slash, he goes for the Blade Fury instead, will save his life and decides to go defensive rather than aggressive. It's YOLO going aggressive here, finds one, can he get any secondary kills with the Ensnare? The Centaur stun, it's on cooldown, but here comes Lion and Iron Man will be able to look to secure this kill. His finger won't need it, and Iron Man actually gets the, okay, doesn't need it because he can just right click to get the last hit for the kill.
Yeah, he opened up his Dagon in the Tusk, who died shortly after in that fight as well. And I was thinking, I mean, you can solo kill people with, you know, your stun into double nuke combo, but another way of looking at it is that Lion's a hero early on.
Speak of Lion, look at this skill build. No mana drain, max stats. He's actually going to be tanky and have a pretty decent sized mana pool, although he doesn't have the mana regen. This is something different from Iron Man.
Well, he's going for this solo kill.
Yeah.
This is the play.
Has he got the mana for it? He doesn't have the Dagon, he has just the finger. It's going to be enough though.
Doesn't need it.
He did
the
the
math.
math.
What I want to say is, maybe the reason is not that you want to use both. It's that you want to be able to combo people more often.
Yes.
So it's stun into Dagon or stun into ulti, and you've both available.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Finger always, especially level 1, Finger has a long cooldown. And until you get level 3, it doesn't really get that short cooldown. So finds a Phoenix pickoff, and even though he's not here for this push, there's no Phoenix here. So taking out that Phoenix takes away one of the most important kind of heroes for the Avengers defense, and Fantastic Five, Aegis in hand, they're going to continue this push. Iron Man's just off in no man's land, farming away, picked up some arcane boots. Oh, Odie ultimate bottom. BZZ not going to get the kill though, gets a banish off an Invoker, but they're going to secure the racks with this healing ward, just sustaining the Fantastic Five side. They've got the Phoenix back here, he will go diving forward, but doesn't want to commit to a Supernova. Doesn't have the necessary backup. Black thinks about the blink forward, but hasn't got the Yules, hasn't really got a setup here, so very easy hold. Oh, sorry, easy as far as defensive retreat from Fantastic Five. And they commit in, they pick out the egg, Blade Fury through. Havos has an Omni Slash as well, looking for the vision. Is he going to go for this one? Turns around, changes his mind, looking for Disruptor, but quickly realizes that's not going to work out too well. Off to the side, it's going to be the Rax being claimed by Fantastic Five. Raw out onto Solitude. They lose Jug. Oh, Havos, he was trying to go for the Omni Slash. Instead, he gets caught in the cooldown. And they're going to lose. Oh, BZZ blinked into that meatball. They take the racks, but they lose 4. Not the cleanest push.
This is what happens when they fight without Iron Man, their star player.
Who now has an Aether Lance. Oh my gosh, this Lion build. Coming to a pub game near you soon. If not by your teammates, it's going to be done by me, because this is something.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
It does.
It's really cool.
You just run around, taking kills, getting 10-minute blinks, telling your fellow support, hey, I'm not buying support items, I'm not buying wards, I'm going to farm my Dagon.
Yeah.
But yeah, a bit of a messy push coming out from Fantastic Five. Not that I think
It's a
ultimately
big
matters.
chunk of gold. I mean, it's a big chunk of gold back to Avengers. It's like it probably doesn't matter for the bigger picture, but it is totally unnecessary. It needs to happen.
I mean, you still look at the state of the game. You just lost to Rax at 20 minutes, and you're down 12k gold. Yes, you just got a big chunk of gold, but you take that aside, it's a terrible position to be in.
Yeah. And Beastmaster just finished Necro 3, which I feel like, you know, usually the Necro 3 is like marks the timing of, okay, now we can push their Rax, they can't do anything about it, and they've already killed the side of Rax, and then they get the Necro 3, and that's just really kind of devastating. Well, Aramin is going to try and sneak around and catch
I've been watching him. He's like just the silent hunter right now. He's very close to Jonas. Jonas is going to walk into him. Oh no! Oh. Can they get the return kill? He could blink out if he can get away from this gyrocopter. Nope, he can't get away from the gyrocopter. Ran the wrong direction. Ran himself into a little cage.
Yeah.
And
It was like the worst possible round it could be, but he didn't really know, I suppose.
No. If he runs further left, gyrocopter can just drop the call down as well. If he's worried about getting fogged.
But it doesn't matter. It's almost. I mean, despite
it's an 800 kill bounty, but still, it really doesn't matter.
Like, Lion is 4th on the net worth and is worth like twice the value of Phoenix, but I still feel like if Lion just spent the rest of the game dying to solo kill Phoenix, that'll probably be enough for his team. Like, he doesn't really need to contribute more than that.
No. At some point, his team's probably like, okay, you're having your fun, but let's like come join us for when we go for this push, because I feel like he does offer more when he groups up as 5 rather than finding these solo pickoffs. It was cute the first time, but yeah, it really is. It really is.
You pick one player on the enemy team and you like just kill them over and over and over, and you're hoping that they'll tilt and then like affect their team's mentality. I mean, this Phoenix is 0 for 8, and from that first mid fight where Aramin caught him out before he could even ulti, I just feel like if you're Jonas in this game, like Lion is your worst nightmare. You can be like seeing Lion in your sleep tonight, like, why is this hero always catching me out and killing me?
Avengers at least still holding their own despite being down to Rax. You got Gyrocopter in your team, one of the better heroes for defending and pushing out some of these lanes at times, but seems Fantastic Five are slowing things down. I'm looking around like wondering what exactly they might be waiting for. They've got BZZ on the OD waiting for a BKB, but still a decent amount of ways from it. Jug has a Yasha, so either a Manta or a SMY coming out. Possibly the next Roche is the other kind of consideration as well.
Yeah. It's almost certainly the next Roche. I think that they'll be more than happy to like guarantee a 5v5 fight at the Roche pits. Alternatively, just get a free Aegis and then push with it. And in the meantime, Aramin's actually now gone for a gem, which uncharacteristic for this game, but he's gonna just clear off the map and make sure that he's safe when he's wandering around.
Has a Hawk to protect him, yeah.
Yeah,
just look where
pretty incredible.
You see where he is on the map with a gem. That's the crazy thing. He's off on his own, roaming onto the enemy jungle, past it. No problem. This is, I mean, it's not even like kind of risk. It's not even that risky. Like when you see that he's got the Hawk, that he's got, like he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yep, and
they're hunting RMN. It's the smoke to try and catch RMN, but unfortunately he's already left the dire jungle. They knew he was up there earlier, so they're really trying to figure out where he went to. But Fantastic Five smoking themselves.
Yeah, they're gonna catch them. And
this looks really
Avengers have to win this fight to stay in the game, I think.
But doing so looks very difficult. The Hawk will scout them out. They catch a lot of heroes here. They're going to find the Disruptor. Raw goes onto the Invoker. They'll split their efforts on the Disruptor as well as Invoker. The fall damage, and they'll get the finger from afar. Not quite enough to kill him off, but it takes him out of the fight. Omni Slash coming through now. Solitude getting low. Blade Fury on through the egg. It pops and actually stuns Havos, preventing some of that chase here. Ghostic goes down to the right clicks here, gets ensnared up. Still going to try lifesteal his way through this one, and the Sunstrike. Nope, not going to catch a kill here. OD. One more blink. Okay, it's going to be the Mana Burn. The long-range Mana Burn snipes Gyrocopter, takes out 4 in the end. And with the Healing Ward sustained, this push will continue. There's just too much sustain more than anything. You've got Hand of God, Mech. That fight, not perfectly executed by Fantastic Five, but there's no way Avengers could punish them.
Yeah, honestly, it was a bit of a mess from Fantastic Five, but just shows how far ahead they are that it works out anyway.
Target of the aggression, but gets forced away, has a homing missile following him, gets bonked, the Sunstrike, hello! goodbye. And they're going to catch BZZ as well, so Avengers can claim this gem here if they realize it's there. And I believe Black, nope, it's going to go blinking past it. Doesn't seem like they're... okay, no, Disruptor's got it. He's made aware of it at least, and we'll pick it up and... base hell, okay.
No, it's only Solitude who bought back. Honestly, that's just very, very sloppy from Fantastic Five, and looks like Yol might go down.
Yep. Boss, can he turn this one around? Blade Fury, gonna guess wrong as far as the direction. Black retreated, and Black is gonna turn. Invoker not gonna go for any kind of a play there. So Black has the Ag Scepter, level 16, level 17 now. He can...
Yeah, hasn't died yet this game.
This is a hero that scales very well into the late game, and already the most farmed hero in the game, level 17. I've got to imagine that's the highest level here in the game by a decent margin as well. So
this is a point where I think if you're Fantastic Five, you need to, someone on the team needs to say, guys, the game's not over yet. You can still lose. Let's focus, because that's why I feel like that those two sequences of fight at the top lane are just them acting far too cocky with their lead, and they end up giving away a gem. They give up a lot of kills, and I genuinely think
it's
yeah, it's the Gyro's big, the Invoker's big, and they need to recognize that they're still very definitely ahead. But
yep.
you know, the game's not going to win itself. Or RMN does kill Tusk this time. Solo kill with this full combo.
Ouch. We missed that one, but probably better for the viewer's sake. Didn't sound too
I mean,
fun.
He blinked in and cast 3 spell, like he stunned and doubled nuke. That's, you didn't have to see it really.
Can imagine, can picture that one went down. So, and you look at this Avengers side, they've got 3 heroes all very poor, but a hero like Phoenix, you've got level 2 ultimate. Like, it's much more about landing your spells and having items on this hero. There's some items which are nice to have, but you can make do without. Similar for like Disruptor, and even Tusk. Like, if you just land your spells, get off a good save with the snowball, get a good static storm, these heroes can still have a big impact.
They're gonna try contest. I don't know if they're gonna be on time.
It looks like they're a little late. Boss, someone get the Aegis. Okay, BZZ picks it up. They'll take out the Forge Spirits, and like you say, they're just there a little bit too late. The Sunray very low. Yeah, level 1 Sunray. Not the build we're being used to see. It is a core Phoenix, but if you're even on the core Phoenix, we've seen a decent amount of just Sunray leveled up early.
Yeah, I also feel like maxing your spirits in this game is a bit strange, considering the fact that the biggest threat to your egg is the Jagger, who can just spin them off anyway. And even level 1 spirits kind of slow the attack speed quite substantially.
I mean, to be honest, Dive's on a spell. It gives you a bit of extra damage, but it's not really a spell you need to level up anyways.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like neither of them really. Like, yeah. I feel like you max the Sunray ahead of either of them in this game.
And
like
if you're like doing really well and like kind of snowballing, yeah, you get your Dive Fire Spirits because you know you're going to get lots of levels. But you're basically in support status right now. You're not going to max Sunray for some time. So at this stage, like Dive is just not a threat. Like the damage it gives you.
Yep.
Sunray scales just amazingly well. Like that's just such a good spell.
Look at RMN.
Yep.
Just look at him.
Pops a ward, waiting for a kill. He's having fun. Blinks forward even. Oh my gosh, this guy's insane. He gets the ward in the high ground. And there will be an Invoker nearby. He's got 2k HP. He can actually survive the combo. Black, very tanky with this Aghanims into Octarine build that he's going for.
We still haven't really seen a devastating Necro 3 push. Remember, the first set of racks was before the Necro 3s, and since then there's been kind of sloppy engagements and execution from the side of Fantastic Five. But they did get another Aegis now, and they've got the BKB finish on the OD, they've got the Manta and the Diffusal Blade and the Jagger, and they've got all the tools they need to close up the game if they, approach it, I think, a bit more seriously than they did the previous time at the top lane. On the flip side, if they manage to lose a fight, and then Invoker or the Gyro survive through the fight, it's actually very, very big for Avengers.
I think that's actually one of the byproducts of what Lion Armen's been doing. Like, less about it being a bad play, but it just creates this kind of clowny atmosphere to the game, which sometimes leads to those situations where your teammates will take like a bad fight or just end up messing things up because of just the game feeling like a pub game, as you kind of mentioned. It's a very pub style of play that we're seeing coming out from RMN. Not that it's bad play by any means.
Yeah, I totally agree. The whole team's probably like laughing and enjoying how well his strategy's working. And, well, they're gonna go up the high ground and force the spin the way back.
Glimpse back from onto RMN. Not sure if that was the intended result, but See what will come out. They're going to look to keep going forward. The Necro 3s have already been summoned, but not easy to push. Iron Man goes in, immediately deletes Disruptor, but has he got an escape plan? He's going to get banished, and he's forced the initiation from Avengers. Boogie goes down next. Solitude in some trouble, getting sliced apart by Havors. Doesn't quite go down. He's got the armor he needs to survive at the Blade Fury. Ghost Stick, no Raw, but the OD drops the bomb, and they take out a third here. The Egg, not going to be dealt with here. They back off instead. Yol, his heal's already on cooldown. He's already committed them. Healing Ward, not available for the time being. Phoenix drops a lot of Fire Spirits. The Sunray as well died. BZZ banishes himself and stays alive as a result. Nope, Tornado. For a second it looked mistimed, but it actually managed to just clip BZZ, who still has the Aegis, so ultimately not a kill that Black wants to die for. Manta out, and Black will blink back to safety. Nice control coming out from Black. Keeps this top lane alive for now.
Yeah, I mean, so in the bigger picture, it's a win for Avengers because they hold, but I don't think they really necessarily win the fight. They didn't get rid of the Aegis, they did lose their gyrocopter, and I think the approach that Fantastic Five used is actually probably the correct approach. Just start with the Lion deleting someone, and it doesn't even matter if the Lion lives after that. It depends, I suppose. If he were to delete someone who can buy back and then he dies, that's going to be very bad value.
Yeah, I guess that's where Disruptor is like, well, kind of don't expect a Disruptor to have buyback at this stage. Yeah.
And Armin actually just upgrades his Dagon. He's just like, yep. I'm gonna make sure I can keep deleting people. And I mean, I like it. I actually like this item. Gets a bit too much hate. Like, I think analytically, the real weakness of the item is what it gives you for how much it costs and what you might have instead, like a 4-star or Glimmer Cape. But I think if you're already in the situation where you're at that gold level, you're affording Dagon levels. And
yeah.
The upgrades are actually very valuable. It's not just the more damage. You get more stats. You get shorter cooldown. You get yeah, well, just those two things, but those are two. I think you also get better cost range. Sorry, that's
it's very much typically looked at like, hey, you're a support. There's so many different utility items you can get. You look at the mech, or you look at the 4-star, the Glimmer Cape, the Blink Dagger as initiation, and that's where you don't normally think, oh, support. You just want single target DPS. That's only a role filled by more your carries, but like in a game where you've already got the sustain of the Chen, you've got some defensive counterplays from Raw, from the OD Banish, so I think given the situation, like you say, it very much has its merits as an item.
Well, the Aegis has timed out.
Yeah. So, in some ways, you talk about it not being the best hold for Avengers because the Aegis was still there. It was a hold in the sense that the Aegis will expire before another push can come. And Fantastic Five have to kind of figure out what the next plan is going to be. OD's picked up a Mystic Staff, so can transition into either a Sheepstick or a Shiver's Guard from here, and does feel like they've hit a bit of a brick wall as far as being able to end this game. I'm not too concerned. Like, I wouldn't be too concerned for them yet, but they do need to find a way to break this base at some point.
Yeah, economically they're only getting further and further ahead, but in terms of the flow, it is quite a big deal that they weren't able to just, like you could say that they were a bit clowny the first time. The second time they took it more seriously and thought, okay, well now that we're serious it'll work, and they still got kind of rebuffed, and maybe the Invoker is just the key. I mean, at some point you just look at the game and you're like, we've never killed this hero, and we're struggling to like achieve what we're trying to do. Maybe what we need to do is kill the hero, and that's the hero that's making the biggest impact, stopping us, slowing us down.
It's not going to be easy. I feel even if they recognize and say, okay, Lion, take him out. He's got 2.1k HP. It's not an easy kill. You've got Tusk who can snowball to save him as well. So
I think Lion can almost do it. I mean, that's a frightening thing, but Lion is level 16 with the Dagon 2 and Aether Lens, and I think Lion can almost solo the Invoker.
So you're like 850, another 500. You're looking at 1300. It's still a bit of a way. Like he's got about 1600 damage, and that's before magic reduction. So it's.
Wait, but are you including the Aether Lens?
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so. And with the Aether Lens, it probably ends up being around like 1500 damage total output.
Yeah. So you'll need like 1 or 2 hits from the OD as well, or something like that.
Okay, I mean, I guess Beastmaster's got Blink now, so very much if you get him with a Blink Roar, you go in and you go hard onto that Invoker, and you've got to try and deal with the Tusk counterplay. The
real combo, the Chen Penitence. That's what you need. Penitence on Invoker, and then just nuke him down. Well, here it is.
They've got him. Finger. Havos goes for the Omni Slash, and like you say, they make sure they take him out. They recognize that he is one of the big kills to get. Iron Man getting a bit low here. Doesn't have to worry about a Sunstrike. Actually gets a Healing Ward to help him out, and they've caught a Banish here. Who's this on? It's on Shaq on the Disruptor, and he's gonna waddle back to safety. So they should be able to force the Invoker buyback here, it looks like, and it's a pretty big loss for Avengers.
The tricky thing, right? So they've used Omni Slash, they've used Lion ulti. I mean, Lion ulti is a short cooldown, but he's got low mana. And the tricky thing here is that some of the value of heroes like Disrupt and Tusk, if Invoker buys back, you're not gonna be able to just get out. Like,
Well, they did get out.
Someone's gonna be glimpsed. Someone's gonna be glimpsed.
Well, there's a Raw in the mid lane. Goes down to Solitude. Don't see a glimpse coming out yet. There we go. They've got the Lion of Iron Man. He gets banished up. Can he get the Blink out? He may actually be able to survive this one. Blink. Iron Man, no. It's immediately caught out by the Phoenix Fire Spirit and taken out.
It's a minor advantage of these kinds of chase heroes that isn't talked about that often, but it makes it harder to force buybacks. I mean, I think that it's worth it for Fantastic Five anyway to use the Lion to force the Invoker's buyback, because if they kill the Invoker again, they probably just end the game. But it is, like, sometimes you get in that situation, you kill an important hero, you want to force the buyback, but because of the composition the team has, if he does buyback, they're almost certainly going to get value for it. And
well, value to the extent it's just a line kill. Like, you've got Jug who can Blade Fury away, who can always dodge the glimpse. Like, most of the heroes, you've got BKB on OD, so most of the heroes who are important to you can actually get away from that catch.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's probably the kind of thing they're thinking when they go for it anyway, and I'm pretty sure that they're more than happy with giving up their land for the buyback.
They got a buyback. They also forced out the glyph there with Juggernaut. I like how they treated it because they're worried about the buyback. They had the creep wave pushing mid, and Jug just goes in for like the backdoor play in the top lane, recognizing that there's probably going to be no one there. I have my Manta, I have my Blade Fury. I'm in a pretty good defensive position. So Avos very farmed at this stage. Actually goes into the butterfly. And not something Jaro can counterplay anytime soon. He's building into a butterfly of his own with 3.5k gold. Could change it up and say I want MKB instead, but Havos is just looking very, very potent on this draft.
And Rush respawns, Chen creeps there to Scartus, and there's immense pressure on Black right now at this stage in the game. What they see Havos, they might attempt to lock him down here. I'm not sure how.
Gets the Ice Shards catch, and Buki can keep him in place with the Warrior's Punch. They get the Static Storm. Havos, very low. Might go down here. Is there going to be a Chen save? Nope, he's not. Supernova comes in, helping to protect the Avengers side. OD drops the hammer. Gets just one kill, but the stun going to catch him from the Supernova as he lands. And OD on the back foot now. BKB wears off, and Solitude chasing. Blink forward from Black will catch him with the Cold Snap. Then there's going to be an immediate banish. Look, impales there. He blinks back to safety. Nicely played by BZZ. Sunstrike catches him. Black snipes him down. Great Sunstrike precision coming out, and they get 4 kills off of it. And they could actually take Roshan here. That would probably be the biggest part of this for Avengers. They're less concerned about pushing anymore. They just want Roche, and they're going to scout it out. Solitude's already in the pit. He sees this, and what a disaster for Fantastic Five.
Yeah, and it's like, I hate to say it, but actually, I mean, it's honestly, that's 100% Havos' fault. There's no discussion to be had about that. He wanders on his own into like the whole enemy team. He's got a lot of ways to live. He spins away, gets a bit caught by the shards, and I mean, I think even dying there is not the end of the world if he gets his Omni Slash off first.
Yep.
But he manages to get caught by the glimpse into the disruptor combo. Like,
and it's like your whole team goes in after you. Like, oh, let's save Havos. It's not just like a Havos dies and then. I don't even think they lose Roche with Havos dead necessarily. He can potentially buy back, or I think Avengers may just be too scared to go for it, but they lose a terrible fight because everyone wants to save it.
So I don't know what their communication's like, but Havos needed to be saying there, guys, I completely screwed up, don't come in, I'm dead, leave me. And if he wasn't saying those things, which I think he probably wasn't, because the kind of player he is, then it's just totally on him. They lose the fight, they lose the rush, and Avengers are actually coming back into the game as a result of that, mostly just that single play.
Yeah, I mean, up until then, there'd been very small victories, like holding the top racks for some time, waiting out the Aegis, but it was never things that really gained ground for Avengers. It was just like, okay, they stalled out the game. Now they can look to make their next play. But that was the first play where it's like, whoa, Avengers, huge victory, big gold swing, and not just like in terms of net worth, but strategically, they've got the Aegis on their side. They can now pick up the Butterfly on Solitude on the Gyrocopter. They've got a big amount of farm on these two great late game carries in Gyrocopter and Invoker, and that's going to be somewhat scary and worrying for the Fantastic Five side.
Yeah, honestly, right before that happened, I was about to point out that there's a huge pressure on Black because his buyback's cooling down. It still is cooling down. That's how much has happened in the last few minutes since he did buyback, but the pressure is just off his shoulders. There was going to be a lot of pressure on him because of the buyback cooldown. If he died again, they'd lose. And now I think if he dies, the game just, you know, his team doesn't necessarily just lose if he dies.
And his team are looking to try and pose some pressure here towards his top lane. wards placed down to kind of protect the dire jungle of Avengers, and they'll snipe the Hawk with an Ice Shards and leave Solitude in this top lane to continue farming.
I mean, do you remember there was a time in this game, probably about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes ago, where I was saying Lion had double the net worth of Phoenix, and now they're very close.
Wow.
It's about 1,000 gap between the two of them. The Phoenix has managed to come all the way back up, get level 16, get a Shiva's Guard. This was a 0-8 Phoenix. I think at that stage had 3 assists. Now it's 2, 9, and 11. Really gotten more into the game. There's been quite a few successful eggs, and the Shiva is going to make it even easier to make the eggs successful.
Kura respawns, and that was I think that was the Hexa BZZ, which I believe he may have he didn't have in that previous fight because the Kura was dead, I want to say. But right now,
I think so. Yeah.
Both teams playing defense. It doesn't look like Avengers are going to get much out of this Aegis, but I mean the biggest thing they get out of it is denying it from Fantastic Five, because holding an Aegis cheese push, even just fighting into that, would be damn near impossible. So denying it from Fantastic Five more important than what they can get out of it, because kind of like you said, Invoker still has no buyback, so they don't want to play too aggressive. Or on Jonas.
Jonas gets
not a big loss, but again, it's not been the best game for Jonas.
It's just interesting to me because I almost feel like drawing out the game might be better for Avengers psychologically, even though I don't think that they outscale. I think that in the very late game, Fantastic Five look really good actually. But just psychologically, the way that the game's gone, okay, there's a blink in, there's a hex, and that's another pick-off. Just the way the game's gone, where Fantastic Five thought the game was so easy, and like they were messing around, doing fun things, laughing about it, and then slowly but surely things start turning on them. I feel like if that game gets drawn out, then you're the team that feels like you had it in the bag so long ago. That can like get into your head.
I definitely agree. If it looks to me on paper like Fantastic Five scale fine into the late game, like they're going to have, I almost want to say like the better late game lineup, but yeah, psychologically it gets trickier. Just having Beast, like the vision advantage from the Beastmaster Hawk, is such an important thing in the late game. See Havos frontlining it here, does not have a way to deal with the evasion, just gets hexed up, okay, Banish will save him for now, as Sunstrike is going to be waiting for him. Black does not get the timing, and Havos, he gets off the Omni Slash with the BKB, he goes marching forward, the Omni Slash is going to clean up here, Mantis onto Solitude, can he get the kill? Healing Ward gets taken out, Solitude, he's got the Aegis though. Jonas marches forward, drops a Fire Spirits with a Supernova. They're losing the top racks though. Beastmaster's going for the backdoor plane. That's the melee racks of all things as well. Ghostic looks like he may pay for this when this life gets banished, but that means the OD himself is going to go down. BZZ in trouble. They lose one. They're going to lose a second, and Ghostic, unless he gets the TP out, which he will. Ooh, narrowly gets himself out of there. Havos surviving as well.
Yeah,
it's a messy
I mean,
fight.
It's a small win for Fantastic Five. They do
Yep.
kill another Axe. They get rid of the Aegis, which was going to time out quite soon. They're still going to probably lose their Chen up here at the top. I'm not sure. Yeah, he doesn't have a TP. If he had a TP, he could have lived.
Level 3 homing missile could be close. Ooh. I think you should have waited for the missile to land with that Sunstrike, perhaps. I think he may survive this one. Even has a mech. Okay. Oh, chases on off to the side. Tusk snowballing forward. Boogie looking for RMN. Won't get the kill. Okay, they did end up losing the Chen to the Phoenix dive forward.
But what if Fights Avengers could have had if Black hit his Deafening Blast and Sunstrike
well,
after that?
he had the insta BKB, so I don't think he could have hit the Sunstrike. That's
Yeah, the Sunstrike probably would have killed him.
I think so too. The Deafening Blast was never going to land with the insta BKB, but yeah, if he hit that Sunstrike, I believe he gets that kill, and then I think Avengers just straight up win that fight convincingly. Havos walks into a Static Storm, BKB's out of it, which looks like it will spell the... okay, won't spell the death of Anime immediately. Gets diffused up, then gets taken out. Havos going to charge forward and find more. Jonas going to be on the receiving end of this one. Has the dive. Gets a little bit further away. Havos not going to chase. Recognizing his limits perhaps, and elsewhere Boogie getting Dagon, getting impaled, taken out. The Chen Granite Golem says,
And Black does
get
have
you
his,
gone, and they take him out.
Black's got his Super Deafening Blast online.
Is it going to be enough to hold though? They've already lost the melee Rex in the top lane. They don't want to lose this mid lane. And without a glyph there, Tier 3 tower just getting chipped away at. Sunstrike will take out the Necrobook. The Supernova used very early and very defensively. RMN won't get taken out here on the retreat, but it's the mid lane where they've lost the Tier 3 tower. Rax is exposed, so Boss could just go forward and try to focus the Rax. Doesn't play for you for now, but they take out Gyro. He's got no buyback. Havos gets the Omni Slash off, takes out Phoenix and the Necrobooks, and it looks like this is the end. Yep, no buyback on Gyro. They call it. It was not the cleanest finish, but Fantastic Five. They had the lead from the start. And they managed to secure themselves a 2-0 victory here.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed by Fantastic Five. I feel like the hiccups in this game were mostly because they like lost their own composure, and that's something in the long run they could deal with. Avengers probably need to put a lot more work in finding a sense of direction as a team, what kind of drafts they want to go for, and how they want to progress throughout the game. Understanding like at different stages of the game what each players need to be doing, where they want to be going. Because I think that they still, as a team, look quite undefined.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of take away from this series, and even this game too. Like, Fantastic Five, a team to really look out for, who could be one of the top contenders, even though this game too was a game that wasn't played well for them, at least past the 20-25 minute mark. Strategically, everything, the execution in the early game, all the decision making, all the direction was on point. And you look at this game, like, they should have stomped it. They didn't because of bad plays, but that's something they can easily rein back in and kind of control for and work on for future games. Yeah,
I totally agree. I'm just wondering, is Armin gonna always be playing like Lina Lion, something that can like zap people down, or like maybe that's something to look out for in the future. Like, because I think as meta games evolve, you usually can't have a player who only plays like one kind of support. He might have to play, Dazzle or something defensive at some points, and maybe that's an aspect of the game that still has to be examined, because we just don't know. But he's certainly done brilliantly on these two supports.
Yeah. Well, strong showing from Fantastic Five. They'll advance to the next round, where they will be versing Team Adfinem, who's been one of the kind of tougher opponents who's been on the rise in the European scene as of late. But that game not going to be played for a couple of days. Up next, we've got Team Alternate versus Elements. We'll take a bit of a break, guys, and we'll come back. I believe that match is scheduled to start in about 1 hour's time. So there'll be a bit of a break unless the match moves up. I'll let you guys know. But for now, Starlight Invitational continues after this.